Our qualitative studies take into account the biological factors as well as the economic and social factors affecting women's health in Canada. We also support citizen engagement in health research and policy development. New publications focus on the status of Aboriginal women's health, rural and remote women's health, midwifery, HIV and AIDS, girls and smoking, breast implants, and much, much more. Visit our website at www.centers.ca or call us toll-free at 1-888-818-9172 for more details. The Centers of Excellence for Women's Health, bringing community and research partners together to improve women's health.
The Centers of Excellence for Women's Health program is funded by the Women's Health Bureau, Health Canada.
For your pizza taste buds, there's only one pizza shop to call. That's Topsail Road Pizzeria and Lounge. They are located at 662 Topsail Road. For pickup and fast home delivery, call 364-3537 or 364-8129. That's Topsail Road Pizzeria and Lounge.
And welcome back to 93.5 CHMR, the Watershed. And Topsail Road Pizza's okay, but Hobo's is better. And up next, we're going to have some Devastator, and this is Fragile Messiah. So we're going to play this when we come back. We're going to actually play an interview that my lovely co-host, Selena Pinto, did with Devastator on Saturday evening. Apparently it's great, so tune in for that. And yeah, so we're going to go into Fragile Messiah by Devastator on 93.5 CHMR, the Watershed.
in the first 100 days.
And you're listening to 93.5 CHMR, and this is Lena Pinto, and you're listening to The Watershed. And I'm joined right now with Devastator. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Dwayne Miller. I'm a guitar player.
Apparently Dwayne forgets who he is. I'm Herb Sims. I'm a guitar player, backup vocals for Devastator.
Okay, cool. And Herb, you actually formed the band, correct?
Yes, there's a long, winding tale about that, but this lineup is absolutely the best one I've ever played with. This one's got a little bit of magic to it, I think.
And this is a long project for you, because I read you started in 1990.
It's more like a sickness for me than it is a vocation. I've gone quite a ways with it. Played a lot of great shows, played with a lot of great people. Milwaukee Metal Fest, played with Guar. I was actually hanging out with a guitar player for Guar one time for a couple hours before I knew who he was. I thought he was one of the roadies. I was at the Metal Fest. But yeah, from Michigan to Newfoundland, but I'm always stunned by the talent here in Newfoundland, and I knew when I came home to have a family after I went back to university, and we were going to do something else, weren't we, Dwayne? We were going to do Defile the Sacred. Remember that?
Oh, I couldn't even remember the name, but you got it. Yeah. I remember you when we met. You were interested in starting a new band, and Devastator wasn't on the go at the time, and you'd taken a break from it. And when we start jamming to that, you mentioned, hey, maybe you could be alright for Devastator as well, and I took that as I was like. I listened to some old Devastator and I was like, man, this is like way better. Like, this is great. So why don't we just scrap the whole new band idea and kind of combine the two efforts and make it one new Devastator.
It's like that scene in The Godfather. Just when you think you got out, they drag you back in.
Yeah.
When I was playing over in Michigan, I actually played with a band, Rape Nation, another band, Ignition, a band, Violent New Breed. We played with Anthrax and Clutch, a lot of big acts. I was just a hired gun in that band. That was lovely. I showed up, someone had the amps set up. I plugged my guitar in, I played. Someone gave me $100 and I went home. It was awesome. But I always kept Devastator on the go. It seemed like the fans kept it alive. There was always fan sites. I'd always be surprised. I was in Steve's music, actually, when I was in university. And I was playing in a band in Detroit. And a guy came up and he was talking to me, and I could tell he'd seen I'd played in the band. And he was kind of hinting around. And I figured, it must be from Violent New Breed when we played with Anthrax, because it was a nice few people saw that show. So I figured, he must have recognized me from that. And it turned out, no, this was from a Devastator show from years ago. Remember when we played with Thine Eyes Bleed, and 3 or 4 of them were actually Devastator fans from
before my time with Devastator, yeah.
Yeah,
but I was still impressed, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been quite the journey, but like I said, I handed over the vocal duties to Daryl, who's probably one of the best metal singers that I've heard, and the reviewers that have heard the new album so far have agreed. And there's no dead weight, and finally I got a unit that I think that we can do something, and hopefully we'll get the tour. Because we've got a new album out called Fragile Messiah, and we've been getting a remarkably good response from Europe. A lot of German fans have been finding us on Facebook, which is weird. And having to Google translate a lot of comments, and we Google translated a review that was done in a Polish magazine. Some of the words wouldn't translate, so I presume it was okay.
Okay.
He called a couple of hits. Yeah, it seemed good. He seemed like he liked
positive,
it. Yeah, he gave it a 7 out of 10. He was a bit of a hard ass as a reviewer.
That's not bad.
No, I didn't think
I'll take that.
So the album, I think that's probably what we will talk about.
We can, yeah.
Yeah, no, we decided we were going to do a new album, and we did some writing together. Anything stuck out with you about who we recorded with, Dwayne?
Well, we recorded with Richie Perez, and he did a really good job. He was excellent to work with. He had a lot of patience, which he needed with me at times. But it was a really good process. And it was great to have outside help.
That's Richie from Wizards of Chaos, right?
Yeah, Richie from Wizards of Chaos.
He's playing Bong too, I think.
Yeah,
phenomenally talented musician, and he does a lot of punk stuff around the city too, I think.
He's into everything, yeah. He's really good. And then of course we got mixing done by Rick Hollett, and
Young Rick.
young Rick Hollis.
Yeah, because apparently there's two Rick Hollis.
Okay.
Yeah, Rick. There's Elder Rick. We won't say Old Rick because I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
But Elder Rick and Young Rick, and Young Rick is our buddy. He's a sound man down to the Sundance Club One. Plays in a bunch of projects. Phenomenal engineer.
Yeah, he's really good. Plays with Hollywood Rose.
Hollywood Rose, yeah.
One of the cover projects he's in, along with many original bands as well. And the main reason we got Rick Hollis in with it too is just to get basically get another set of ears on it. We figured with this album, the more ears we had, the more help we had from out the outside would help us bring out the best of ourselves.
Absolutely, it was about bringing a vision out, and this album was really something we wanted to be special when we were done. We took a few risks on it. We did a few things people might not expect, but people have responded well to it so far. For mastering, we decided to go a little far afield. First, we were looking at Metalwork Studio in Toronto.
Okay.
I had an old connection there, and Rick Hollis has a connection there. And it was actually the guy that done Nazareth, and a bunch of things you wouldn't expect. Done a lot of big 70s stuff, big high fidelity, bassy, bottomy stuff. So he looked really good. But our producer contacted Mika Jusila from Finnbox Studios in Finland, of all places. And this guy has done Amorphous, Nightwish, a lot of big European bands. Stradivarius. Deep Purple. That was,
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was really done an amazing catalog of work. I think he's done over 5,000 albums if you count his metal and his non-metal. Yeah, he's phenomenal work, and we sent it over to him. He gave us a good price on it and did a phenomenal job on it. So now we're trying to shop it and get it out there. We've released it ourselves online, so it's available.
You can either go to reverbnation.com/the original Devastator, or on Bandcamp, Devastator1, the number 1, .bandcamp.com, or you can just search us on Facebook, or also twitter.com/First Devastator, and first is done with the number 1 ST.
Fancy.
Yeah.
And you mentioned to me, Dwayne, so you guys might be getting a hard copy of the album in the next couple of weeks?
We're expecting it. When are we expecting that?
It's being pressed right now. We approved the proofs 3 or 4 days ago, and it was in for pressing, so sent to Toronto. I should get it in a week or so. It'll be available at some local outlets. We'll get it up to HMV. Our last album, Savage Wasteland, did really well at HMV. The manager said there a couple times that it was one of the biggest seller local metal acts for a bit. We're quite proud of that one too. But this album just steps it up even another notch, and we step out of our comfort zone a little bit. And Daryl's really stretching himself as a vocalist, and as a guitar player, we're really been stretching ourselves as guitar players and bass players. And
Joe's really taken
Joe's become a phenomenal drummer, just phenomenal.
And only after a few short years, really, when you think about it,
that's right. And he's
half a decade.
Yeah, and he's put a lot of work in, and he's a phenomenally good drummer. Like I say, he's a lot.
Drummer, bass player, guitar player, does it all. So
yeah, there's several bands. Just like our own little extended circle, we have Endometrium, which is Dwayne's other band.
Yeah. Joe and TJ.
Joe and TJ. We also have Unita, which is our drummer's other band.
And where he plays guitar.
Yeah. And Regular People, which is a Pantera tribute band, which is pretty much everybody in Devastator except me.
Yeah.
It's been a great trip. And the fans in Newfoundland, getting a chance to play for the fans in Newfoundland is just great. The music here is unbelievable. When I used to play in Detroit, you play with 5 bands. One would be trying to sound like Metallica and doing a terrible job. One would be trying to sound like Slayer. There'd be one good original band, and then the others would be pretty marginal. You play here, all 5 bands are good. There might be kids in one jam in a year, and they get up and they're doing original songs, and they sound original. They're not trying to sound like anyone else. It's unbelievable. Like a small city like St. John's, you got Weapon, you got Wizards of Chaos, you got Chevy, you got Iron Iron Giant, I believe, are from here too, aren't they? Or are they from,
No, they're
from away.
not too far.
But they play in
away,
this city. They play in
They
this
played here
city.
many times.
And tons of bands that I'm not mentioning. There's unbelievable, like, the amount of talent in this city.
A lot of new ones too. Can't think of any names, but lots of new stuff coming out.
Yeah, I'm half asleep all the time trying to promote the album 24/7 and having to work the day job, which hopefully if we can get the label interest, we won't have to do forever. But it's always those nice dreams. That's what gets you up in the morning.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I was on your Reverb Nation page earlier, and I was surprised to find Dirty Laundry, your guys' cover, and that was a wicked cover. So we were talking earlier about how the song is actually really dark, and when it was released in the mid-'80s, it's kind of more poppier. So what was your guys' reasoning behind picking that song?
Well, that song always struck me as a really heavy song. And if you ever hear Don Henley and the boys play it live, when the keyboards aren't too loud in the mix and you can hear the guitars a bit better, it was always really punchy. And it was an angry song. Like Don Henley was angry when he wrote it. It was during, I believe, now, this is wiki legend and stuff, so maybe it's not true. Maybe it's like the thing in the air tonight. Maybe it's made up, but I don't think so. It was just repeated enough that it was from a dark time in Don's life when he had been arrested for drunk driving, and anybody makes mistakes, and he was being hounded by the media, who had seemed to like him a week before, and now we're trying to destroy him. And it represented a dark period in his life. It's a dark song.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of energy that I draw on for writing. It was something that always spoke to me, and I always thought if we could get a good unit together that could play this song and really, kick it up to a bit heavier notch, it would work. And I would, the boys didn't think it was going to work
At first, yeah. He first mentioned to us, and we were kind of like, I don't know, man, I'm not sure about this song, and we'll take a listen to it. And once, we brought it home and just listened to it, you could hear, like, we could definitely work something with this. I was like, what am I going to do with these keyboard parts, and I just decided to play the same notes on the guitar and just see how it worked, and it worked out. And once we jammed to it once we finally got together at Joe's house and jammed it out, everyone was like, yeah, this is cool, this will work.
And the solos, I always liked the solos in it, right? Now I'm probably going to say it's Joe Walsh, right?
Joe Walsh and Steve Lukather?
Steve Lukather. Steve Lukather from Toto. Can you believe you were ever going to learn a solo by a guitar player from Toto?
I didn't think so, but I'm really impressed with it. Like, one solo.
Like, there's a lot of stuff came out in the 70s that we just don't appreciate for how good it was. And I think we did respect, we're not going to match these guitar legends, but we did respect to what they did. And I put a couple little more metal twists on it, but the little part of it is I was wanting to play that solo, so it was a good reason good enough reason to do the song for me. And it was also a chance for Daryl to stretch himself vocally, and he really stepped up to the plate and did an excellent job.
He surprised us the first day in the studio when we went to actually do it. We had everything recorded except for vocals, and we're all curious, okay, what's he going to do? Because the jam was one thing, but when we're getting down to tracking, how's it going to sound, And he got in there, and we started running the tape, and the first line came out, and we're like, yeah, he got it. It sounded great.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. And what we hope for this album is that it can be a vehicle for us to really work on our craft more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we mostly see ourselves as songwriters. I love performing. Performance is where it's at, but I love to write songs. And metal and hard music has always been the venue. Like, a good song is a good song. I think you can take a good solid country song. Like, my favorite cover, the best cover ever done, is Trent Reznor's cover of Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt.
Yeah.
And he makes it his own. It's a great song, very meaningful. I think a great song can translate across any genre of music. But I've always liked the darkness in metal lyrics and playing with that notion. That's why it finds itself into the soundtrack of video games or horror movies or dark, high intensity events. The soundtrack of it is this heavy, driving, pounding music. That's what's always appealed to me. And this album, I think we managed to bring it to a place where it's something that's very listenable but still driving, and with a nice variation on the lyrics, a nice variation on the approach and the vocal style. Hopefully there's nothing on there that would bore anybody.
I don't think it's boring though. It's definitely.
And every song is unique.
Yeah.
You could build an album around every song. Like there's no real filler on the album.
So you guys mentioned go on.
Okay.
You guys mentioned you're possibly going on tour to promote the album.
I would like to. I got a couple of kids to raise, and Dwayne's in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't do it out of the goodness of our heart. If we can sell enough to finance a little tour, we'll tour around Atlantic Canada. There's a few bands that we could tour with like this. I got old friends down in Detroit. We could go tour around the Midwest, but you'd be living. Excuse me. You'd be living out of your trailer, and I'm not quite down with that at this point. But it depends on what we can do, what kind we can leverage with the album. But that being said, that's where we're working. But I'm already working on the next album. Like the writing is it's coming fast and furious these days, and Daryl's been doing a lot more songwriting, and he really wants to push his vocals like into places he hasn't done before, and that's what we all want to do. We want to take the songwriting to the next step. And that's hopefully what this album is going to be leverage for us to do.
Yeah, and on the bass, Chris really brought like a lot of groove to the album too. With
Chris is not even a metalhead.
Yeah, he brings a different vibe to it. Well, he does. His students, he was a teacher of guitar and bass for a number of years. So his students kind of got him into metal because his students would come to him and ask him, teach me this Lamb of God song, teach me this Pantera or Death even. So he's not like the same way we grew up with metal. He didn't grow up the same way, but he got exposed in that way. And because of the fact that he's not really into it in the same way we were, he totally brings a different groove to the table. Like a more rock oriented groove.
But also very songwriter oriented and very melodic, and it's not just about trying to rip your face off all the time. We do that too. It's nice to have your face ripped off.
Initiation.
Yes. It's like, good morning. But it's nice to be able to have something to bang your head to. And it seems to be the reviews that we've been getting so far. It's been getting phenomenal support from Europe. We're actually going to be appearing on a compilation disc for Metal Hammer magazine in the UK. Oh wow! They're printing 500,000 copies to go in their 2013 up and coming artists. I've been out of 20 years of being an up and coming artist.
But we'll take it.
I'll take
April, it. April issue.
April 1st, and there'll be a little blurb on us in April 1st issue of Metal Hammer. And that'll be distributed 500,000 copies in the UK and all over Europe and the US. So by all means, grab a copy if you see it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that there's going to be some real quality music on it. I'm quite pleased that we were included. It was actually the writer found us. So all you young metal bands out there, when someone calls you to say to be on a compilation disc and they say it'll only cost you $600, it's not the way it's supposed to be. Nobody asked us for money. We had to license this to them for them to be able to do it. So you want to be careful as young bands trying to get your name out there.
Of course,
get sucked in. And that's been the way with a couple of compilations that we've been asked to take part in. Is that there's no money out of pocket for us. They're glad to be able to use our material. We license it to them, and then they pay royalties over a certain level once they recoup their expenses.
That's great advice. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in and promoting your album. Best of luck with it.
Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it. And, any of the listeners out there, like Dwayne said, we just run through our contact stuff. You can find us on Twitter at
twitter.com/First Devastator, number 1, ST. Well, actually, the best advice is do this. Go to Google and just type in Devastator Fragile Messiah.
And I'll post it all on our Facebook group for the Watershed. So.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to the fans for St. John's for giving us a chance to play for you guys again. Hopefully we'll get a chance to take this great stuff around the world and maybe give some exposure to the metal scene. Seattle got nothing on us. So if we can get just a little bit of exposure for a couple of these bands, who knows what we can get going.
I also look out in the next couple of months. We're going to be doing our official CD release party.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for coming in again, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Dean from Collective Soul, and you're listening to 93.5 CHMR.